Patrick, we've had two great community events in April. The April Olympians led by our CDM and Themis work groups, and then our third annual DevCon led by the open source community work group. Really great community engagement in both. So I'd like to talk about both. Let's start with April Olympians. What came out of that event, and how excited were you by a lot of new people really joining that effort?
Yeah, this month has been really great to see the progress made. I really am thankful and appreciative of leadership of Claire Blacketer and Melanie Filofsky, who led us on this journey of April Olympians. One of the core pillars of our community is open community data standards. And it's not just about the use of the OMOP common data model and the Odyssey standardized vocabularies, but also all the conventions that go into making sure that when you're ETLing data, that you're understanding the appropriate rules to follow and the appropriate ways to do quality assessment. And with so many organizations and individuals using the OMOP Common Data Model, hundreds of them around the world, we've realized that we have a lot of engagement in the community, writing questions to each other and providing support through all of our platforms, including Wiki and Git and MS Teams and forums. And yet that institutional knowledge is really actually difficult for a newcomer to find. And so what Claire and Melanie walked us through this month was an exercise for us to try to create a living repository of all of the great knowledge that's been acquired by our community over the last many years, and to provide an evolving pathway for how we can talk about best practices in data standardization. And what was, as you mentioned, what was really exciting was this wasn't just Claire and Melanie alone. We had a lot of great engagement from many members of the community, including many folks that we don't really hear from as often. So a big shout out to Alvaro, Adam, Evanet, Solmez, Lloyd, Maxim, Dave, Andy, Megan, Jaiwei, Katie, Hayden, Don, Erica, and Agnes, who all made important contributions during April Olympians and really raised the bar of maturity about where we are as an open community data standard.
Besides the event itself, we had a number of great tutorials during community calls around CDM and ETL that are all available in this newsletter. And we talk about some tutorials and some of the open source work being done in our community. It takes us right to DevCon, which was held April 26th. Again, a record number of people who were engaged in DevCon this year. All of the recordings on the website now. Can you just talk about this third annual DevCon event, what it's become, and the excitement around open source development in our community?
Yeah, just like open community data standards is one of our pillars, another core pillar is open source development to establish and make publicly available analytic tools that allow us to analyze the data once it's been standardized. A core of our Odyssey's open source development is the Hades suite of R packages, as well as Atlas as a web-based tool. But there's a lot of great other open source development that's going on in the community. And so I was really appreciative for having Paul Nagy and Adam Black lead us again through our DevCon community effort. And it was great to see the broader community sharing tools that they're developing. That included tools to support the ETL processes. We had great updates on the development that's going on in the Darwin EU initiative. We saw various tools to support vocabulary building. And all of this really highlights the diverse set of skills that are within the Odyssey community and how developers can work together to create solutions that can be broadly used by everybody in the broader community. So a big shout out and thank you to Katie, Dan, Vishnu, Roger, Georgina, Sam, Peter Jan, Mike, Marty, Kim, Frank, Senna, Lee, Dennis, and Tiffany, who all gave great presentations that really demonstrate what's possible if we can work together as an open science community.
Similar to the April Olympians, there were a number of great tutorials or updates that are now available on the DevCon event page, which you can find on odyssey.org. You can also go to the website now and register for the Global Symposium in October. That registration just opened. Certainly more information to come, but there's 5 fantastic tutorials that are first come, first serve. So you can check those out and register now for them. More immediately, though, this is our last podcast before the Europe Symposium, which is June 1st to 3rd in Rotterdam. I know you'll be out there. Can you just kind of talk about what you're looking forward to in Europe this year?
Yeah, there's been so much growth in the Odyssey community in the European region, and it's really wonderful to again see the Odyssey Europe Symposium being hosted in Rotterdam to be able to showcase all of that work. One of the things I'm really looking forward to is we've seen a lot of establishing of national nodes across the European region, and they'll be all getting together so that individuals within organizations, within countries that are looking for like-minded collaborators will have an explicit opportunity to connect and engage. There's also going to be over 120 collaborator showcase submissions that'll be presented through posters and software demonstrations and lightning talks. And having a chance to preview all of those, it was really exciting to see the advancement of science. There's a lot of great work in Europe going on in data standards, some really exciting open source development and methods research, and also some really important clinical applications that benefit not just Europe but the entire globe. So really excited to be able to attend Odyssey Europe next month, and looking forward to see many collaborators there.
Certainly have some fantastic community calls coming this month, including another set of tutorials. We'll look at some open network studies and a chance to brainstorm on collaborator showcase ideas for the global symposium. So should be a fantastic month. I hope everybody is able to continue joining us Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for joining, Patrick.
Thanks, Craig. Science!